can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I've lost everything. My marriage, my savings, my sanity. All because I trusted someone I met online, a psychic who told me I was cursed. But it didn't start out like that. A few months ago, I was just a lonely housewife, feeling trapped in my own life. My husband, John, was always working late, coming home tired, barely talking to me. I remember sitting at the dinner table one night, watching the food go cold, the silence between us thicker than ever. I was desperate to feel something, anything, other than the emptiness that had settled between us. I was scrolling through Facebook late one night, mindlessly liking posts, when an ad popped up. Feeling lost? Trapped in a life that feels like it's slipping away? Find clarity and hope. Master Lorenzo can guide you to your true path. First, reading free. It was like the words were speaking directly to my soul. Feeling lost? Yes, I was. Trapped in a life that feels like it's slipping away. I felt like I was drowning, like every day was the same empty routine, and I was completely alone. The ad promised answers, a way out of the fog I was living in. For a moment, I let myself believe it. I thought, what if someone could finally see what I'm going through, help me understand why my life feels like it's falling apart? I clicked on it without even thinking. I wasn't expecting much, just curiosity mixed with a hint of desperation. The first time I spoke to Lorenzo, it was like he knew me better than I knew myself. He said things that sent chills down my spine. You're surrounded by darkness, he told me. There's a curse on your happiness, placed by someone close to you. If you don't act, it will destroy everything you love. I felt a knot tighten in my chest. I couldn't stop thinking about my strained marriage, the money troubles we'd been having, my constant anxiety. He made it all seem connected, like there was this invisible force working against me. I asked him what I should do. He said he could help lift the curse, but I needed to buy special candles and herbs for a cleansing ritual. I remember going to 3 different stores, feeling ridiculous buying all this stuff, but I was desperate. That was just the beginning. He asked me to set up an altar in my bedroom, somewhere private and quiet. I covered a small table with a deep purple cloth, as he instructed, and placed 3 white candles in a triangle. In the center, I put a small bowl of salt and a vial of oil he'd mailed me, labeled Sacred Purification. Every night, I had to sit cross-legged in front of that altar at precisely 11:11 p.m. Lorenzo told me that was when the veil between our world and the spirit world was thinnest. I'd light the candles, draw a circle around myself with salt, and anoint my forehead and hands with the oil. Then, I had to recite an incantation he'd given me. Spirits of the unseen, I call upon thee. Break these chains, set me free. I chanted it 33 times. Not 30, not 35, exactly 33 times. He said the number was sacred, representing spiritual completion. My voice would crack by the end, my throat dry, my heart pounding in my chest. I felt like a fool, but at the same time, I felt something, like a strange energy swirling around me, tingling under my skin. Then came the next phase. Lorenzo told me I had to cleanse my home of the darkness. He sent me a list of ingredients for a special cleansing potion: a black feather, a piece of obsidian, a handful of rosemary, and a jar of honey. I had to mix them all together in a pot of boiling water at dawn, chanting, "As the sun rises, so shall the darkness flee." I'd walk through the house, sprinkling this mixture in every corner, murmuring prayers and invocations. It smelled awful, like burnt herbs and something sickly sweet. But Lorenzo said it was working, that he could sense the curse weakening. But then he told me the curse was deeper than he'd thought. He said, "Sarah, this is serious. The curse is tied to your marriage, and it's affecting your husband's work. If you don't act fast, he could lose his job. Your family could be ruined." I was terrified. I couldn't lose John, our home, everything we'd built. He told me I needed a personal protection charm, something powerful enough to shield me from the curse's energy. He'd create it for me, he said, but it wasn't cheap. I remember wiring him $2,000 that very night, my hands trembling as I pressed send. He mailed me a small velvet pouch filled with what he called sacred items. A bone fragment, a piece of red string, and a tiny vial of what looked like ashes. I had to wear this pouch around my neck, day and night, for 21 days. He warned me never to let it touch the ground, never to open it. I even wore it to bed, waking up with it tangled in my hair, the string cutting into my skin. I was starting to feel exhausted, overwhelmed, but he said I was almost there. Just one more ritual. The curse is getting desperate, he said. It's latching onto your husband. You need a final cleansing ritual. It's expensive. But if you don't do it, he'll lose everything. His job, his health, your marriage. He asked for $5,000. I was frantic. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I went to the bank the next morning, my hands shaking as I withdrew the money. I was about to send it when I looked up and saw a notice above the teller window. It was one of those posters you always see, but never really read. It said, "If it's too good to be true, it's probably a scam." My heart skipped a beat. I stood there, staring at those words. It felt like a bucket of cold water had just been thrown over me. Too good to be true. That was it, wasn't it? The promise that I could fix everything, just by paying a little more, doing one more ritual. It was too good to be true. My hands were shaking as I stepped away from the teller window. I felt dizzy, like the ground was shifting beneath me. I couldn't believe what I was about to do. I'd been so blind, so desperate to believe that there was an easy answer to all my problems. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was going to faint right there in the middle of the bank. I didn't send the money. I blocked Lorenzo's number, deleted all his messages. But the damage was already done. When I got home, I couldn't even look John in the eye. He knew something was wrong, but I didn't dare to tell him. Not yet. A few days later, the bill started arriving. The full weight of what I'd done hit me like a freight train. John found the bank statements I'd been hiding. The look on his face. I've never seen such pain and betrayal. We're still picking up the pieces. He's trying to forgive me, but I don't know if I can forgive myself. If you're watching this, please don't be me. Don't let someone manipulate your fears and insecurities. Don't let desperation lead you down a path where you lose everything. Your money, your relationships, your sense of self. I'm rebuilding my life now, one day at a time. I'm seeing a therapist, trying to mend my relationship, and learning to trust myself again. But I'll never forget the lesson I learned. Trust yourself, not someone who profits off your pain. And remember, no one can sell you peace of mind.